Well, I guess I better get my phone out so we can do this thing on the fly. Oh, did you get that? I'm down, whatever. Do we even have these things set? Wow. I feel like
I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, "I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!"
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Smith Radio, along with your host, Brian Smith, and
Carrie Smith,
giving you all the late-breaking details of the 2016 presidential election, telling you who's buying it and who's not, who's in, who's out, who couldn't do it, who possibly might do it, giving you all the facts and details that you don't hear anywhere else. Today is February 21st. If you're listening on iHeartRadio, if you want to find us on iHeartRadio, you can search us, SMYTH Smith Radio, or I've made an easy link for you. Just type in the words iHeart, the letter I, not E-Y-E.
Right.
It's
I'm glad you cleared that up.
You know, we've got a lot of new listeners, and those of you who are
they dumb?
They're seasoned veterans.
Okay.
Very seasoned.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
See, we're getting votes from beyond the grave.
Oh, well, you know what? I know the Democrats are really good at that.
Yes, we've enlisted their assistance. You can go to iHeart.smithradio.com, and that'll take you directly to iHeart. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/SmithRadio. You will be amazed by the plethora.
Did you introduce yourself yet?
Yeah.
Did I say Carrie Smith?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm just totally
It
immersed.
goes that fast, man.
I'm immersed. Well, I guess we'll be back next week.
See y'all later. No,
Wow.
you can also pick up all the live shows as they're happening every Sunday evening at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. We usually roll till 8. Today might be a short show, but you never know. But we definitely take it for 3 hours normally. And if you want to be part of the show and you've got anything to add, go ahead and give us a call, 772-49-SMITH, 772-49-SMITH, SMYTH, and you can be part of the show. Did you hear...
Well, what's the show going to be about? I mean, we got a bunch of stuff. First of all, we got the South Carolina primary.
Right, and we also have Democrats in Nevada.
Now, what's the story here? Did Nevada not have any kind of a GOP primary or caucus?
Well, I think it's just a different timing.
Yeah, okay. Well, then in South Carolina, did anybody vote for Democrats?
No, they had it. They all voted in Nevada.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So we've got...
That's so weird.
And we've got some numbers, and I'm going to blow your mind, folks. If anybody has... If you've been listening to anything, you know that the feel is that the people are rising up for Sanders.
He's what it seems like.
I mean, he's tracking, tens of thousands, but he's tracking thousands of people to...
Possibly tens of thousands, depending on the location and stuff like that.
And Hilary?
Hilary is... I'm going to be honest with you. Hilary is... when it comes to popularity, when it comes to popularity, and when it comes to likability and all that stuff, she is literally the Democratic version of Jeb Bush and his candidacy, which was a total embarrassment when it comes to his support and likability, and also, money-wise. It's like they got these giant donors, and I don't know why. I mean, they see the Bush name and they're like, it's all about branding, man. And I honestly think that was a big thing back in the day. I know in the 2000 election, I remember finding it very intriguing that we might have another Bush that's actually the son of a former president that could be the next president. And he was behind at the time. And I just thought it was intriguing.
Well, we've talked about this before, about the movie that Eddie Murphy made, The Candidate.
Yeah,
where he never showed up, never showed his face, never done anything,
and he
ran on the guy that died the year before.
Okay.
The candidate died, and he just changed his name to that candidate's name.
Oh, what was
Washington or whatever. Washington. Something.
Okay.
And so...
Whatever the name of that movie
When
was.
he shows up, because it was an automatic landslide. I mean, everybody thought it was the same guy, but that guy was dead.
He changed his name to the incumbent.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And so Eddie Murphy gets in there. He's black. Everybody's white. And they're like, whoa! And then you hear the record player go...
The needle just rips right off the record. No, and I haven't seen that movie, but that totally makes sense to me. And I would think that these people, that the rich giant corporations that are dumping millions and millions of dollars on these candidates, which is just hilarious, huge waste of money. I think they're going by the old school philosophy that branding is the most important thing. And I think in the past it probably was. But so they look at these guys and they're like, oh my gosh, a Bush is running? Oh, this has got to be the guy. People are going to see the name Bush and they're going to go on it. And then on the other side, people are like, oh my gosh, a Clinton's running? Oh, we got to dump all our money on this. This has got to be it. Now, the funny thing is, because the field is so small on the Democrat side, Hillary's still in it. And and the funny thing is, I guess it's because Sanders is so bad. And by bad, I mean he's great when it comes to demagoguery, but I think I'm not going to sit there and tell you that Democrats are this stupid, that they listen to Bernie and fall for it. It's communism.
Right.
And so I think that's why they're just going to go with Clinton, because they're like, well, gosh, we can't have they call him a socialist, and they'll say he's a socialist, and they have no idea why. I've gotten into arguments online about this. People have no idea why he's not, or why he is a communist. They just say, well, no, he's not a communist. They have no idea what the difference is between communism and socialism, and we've talked about it many, many times on this show, and they just don't know. But in effect, if you're a socialist and you can call yourself a socialist, or if you can call somebody else a socialist, it's pretty much equivalent to a communist. And for those of you that are still like, whoa, if you're new to this program and you don't know, I'll give you the nutshell version. Socialism is when a certain industry or sector or business is taken over and run by the government. That would be a socialist program. Communism is when all of the industries and businesses are run by the government. So the difference is that a socialist could say, well, I'm not for all industries and businesses being run by government. However, the problem is every single time you implement a socialist program that is run by the government, it's irreversible. It's forever. And as soon as you're done doing that, the socialists then look for the next industry to take over. And so it becomes a road to communism. So anyway, that's it in a nutshell. So yeah, Bernie Sanders is, for all intents and purposes, a communist. And they never stop. They're never complete. They're never finished with what they're doing. So it's always the end result of being a communist. That's what their end goal is anyway. So I digress.
As I digress.
Yes. So we had
But the whole thing is that there's this feel of a surge for Sanders versus Clinton.
Well, yeah, and this has been going on for a while. Yet, what do we have?
Well,
we had a caucus
in Nevada. She pulled out a slight win again.
A slight? I thought it was kind of like numbers wise.
It was huge?
I mean, I thought it was like 57%.
No, I didn't get that.
I must have misheard that. I was just overhearing a report this morning. I just heard it. I may have misheard it. Maybe it was 47.
Well, okay. Well, now that I've got Clinton at 52 and Sanders at 47.
Okay. I mean, when it comes to elections, that's a good win. I mean, it's not like what happened. What was it in the Iowa caucus? I mean, was a debacle. They were counting votes to the very last second.
Oh, yeah.
And then they were doing multiple coin flip. 6 different counties had to do a coin flip.
Oh yeah, no,
I mean,
it was absolutely insane.
And when it was all said and done, they both split the delegates, and she got the super delegates, and she can go around saying she got the win, even though she clearly stole it, and he can't say he won it. So yeah, I mean it's a big deal when you win 52-47, though. That's a little different. That's
right.
A significant win.
Well, here's some numbers on the delegate, and I want you all folks to understand these percentages of win, like we talked about on the last show, where Ted Cruz technically won the percentage of votes over Trump in Iowa.
Yeah, it was like by 4%.
Those percentage points don't matter in the end. What matters in the end is the delegates that you win.
Right. Well,
in
yeah,
each
right.
state. And so the delegates add up, and for the Republicans, I think you have to get up to like 1,500. Is it
1,237 exactly?
Okay.
I was told that by an actual campaign worker.
Right, and
1,237 delegates is what you need.
And if you followed us on Facebook, you would have seen I posted that. There it is. 1,237 needed for the nomination. Ben Carson has 3. Kasich 5. Rubio 10.
It seems like we got a long way to go.
Cruz 11.
Okay.
And like I said, Cruz won Iowa, but the delegates were split between Cruz and Trump. It was 15-15 or something like that.
5 and 5.
Or 5 and 5.
Something like that.
Sorry, 15-15 was Clinton and Sanders.
Okay.
Okay, 5 and 5 in Iowa. Trump holds 61 delegates.
So far, right. I mean, it sounds like a trouncing, but they have to get 1,237. So the Super Tuesday elections, there's a lot of, I believe they may be all winner take all. So winning the state becomes absolutely critical in those. When Ohio goes, which is our state, it's a winner take all, which is absolutely crucial.
Yeah, some of the states obviously don't split the delegates.
Oh, a lot of them don't. Yeah. So now when we get down to the actual general election, it'll be all winner take all for all the states. So, and
now,
that's the electoral college that elects the president.
Okay, so now we talked about how close Iowa was for Hilary.
Right.
That she stole it.
She clearly stole it. You have to be suffering from a good case of cognitive dissonance to not accept the fact that, or the idea, or the probability that she stole it.
Right, in New Hampshire, didn't turn out very good.
Well, right, and she lost New Hampshire.
Didn't turn out very good.
But she got the same amount of delegates as him in that state.
She wound up pulling out 15-plus delegates, and then Sanders had 13 or 14. It was like really close, but he had less.
And then there's 2 holding out.
Right.
That they figure if they both go to Sanders that they would tie that state.
So the difference between pledged delegates and super delegates, as far as I get, you're not supposed to see that, Gary. You're not supposed to see.
I didn't see it.
I turned the monitor so that he can't see the next graph.
And I'm like, I'm rubbernecking over here. And so, well, okay.
Super delegates can go. They can be given to any candidate regardless of the win of that state, of the people voting.
Right. So if you're a Democrat and you go out and vote, it really actually makes no difference. The Democrat Party is actually not democratic.
No.
They actually aren't. I'm not just blasting them and this is not hyperbole. This is not ad hominem. When you go out and vote for Sanders, unless it's like unanimous, even so, when the delegates the super delegates are already pledged to the winner that wants them more or somehow has the corruption down pat like Clinton does, she's going to win the primary regardless of what your vote is.
Okay, so Sanders holds 70 pledged delegates,
Out of
and according to out of that 70, he's got a few super delegates. Just